Well, you obviously are having so much fun you decided to come back. So, we're going to take our lower cast and draw on tooth number 28, 30, and 31. Again, make sure you have your pencils nice and sharpened so we can go to town on that. First thing you need to make sure you do is identify the correct tooth, tooth number 28. Make sure you're on the lower right of the models and not the lower left. The mesial buccal developmental groove. Now this is a term that came from anteriors. Mesial buccal developmental groove. Remember, it's not a triangular developmental groove because those are found on the occlusal. This is like those ones we found on the canines, your favorite, and the incisors. I'm going to do a distal buccal developmental groove. There we go. The mesial lingual groove. This is what I refer to as the knife mark. I'm going to swing the model a little this way, and I'm going down. This is the mesial lingual groove, but it's also known as the mesial lingual triangular developmental groove. We're going to move to tooth number 30. I'm just going to draw little dots where I see cusp, mesial buccal cusp, distal buccal cusp, and a tiny little distal cusp that sits way back on the distal marginal ridge. This thing has two grooves between those three cusps. So if I take from the central pit and go away, and it goes down on the buccal surface, this is the buccal groove, or also known as the mesial buccal groove. And I'm going to swing my model that way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw the distal buccal groove, distal pit, swing between the two cusps. That is your distal buccal groove. And I'm going to swing my model. You can see it goes onto the buccal. The last finding on this tooth is the buccal cervical ridge. You know where the buccal surface is. You know the cervical is down at the gingival area. A ridge is a hump of enamel. So I'm going to draw in where the buccal cervical ridge is. By focusing, I know it's a little out of focus. So let's see if I can get that to behave. No, of course not. I'm going to move to tooth number 31. All mandibular molars have triangular ridges. So here is a triangular ridge. Here is a triangular ridge. Here is a triangular ridge. And here is a triangular ridge. So this tooth has 4 cusps, 4 triangular ridges. A first molar would have 5 cusps, 5 triangular ridges. So if I ask you to identify the 2 transverse ridges on this tooth that we just drew on, here is one transverse, and here's another. Remember, there's no oblique ridges on a mandibular molar.